This is the UK's biggest Asian mix. This is Sunrise.
Good morning, it's 10:21. My name is Shabnam Sahi. You're listening to the UK's biggest Asian mix, Sunrise Radio, and it gives me great pleasure to say a big warm welcome to Cormac Coley from the Sethi Partnership. Cormac, thank you so much for your time. Welcome to Sunrise.
Good morning, Shabnam.
Now, we're here to talk about employment law today because it is something which is on many, many people's mind. But before that, let's start by talking a bit about the Sethi Partnership.
Yeah, the Sethi Partnership is based in Eastcote in Ruislip. We were established in 1994. We've been on the go for 26 years now. We're an award-winning and trusted firm in Eastcote, Ruislip, northwest London. We are a legal 500 firm with many accreditations, including STEP, will writing code. We provide legal services for many areas of law, such as conveyancing, immigration, family and divorce, employment law, litigation, court cases, motor offences, wills and probate.
Now, Cormac, the COVID-19 pandemic has had a huge impact on employment. What is your take on this?
Well, it's going to lead to a lot of dismissals and terminations of employment because businesses can't afford to continue at the same culture that they were operating at. So while a lot of people have been put on furlough initially at the start of the lockdown, the government has introduced a stepped process with the furlough where it's going to reduce the amount of money that the taxpayer will be paying, and employers are going to have to pay a little bit more, and eventually the furlough will be phased out completely. So after that then, some employees may find themselves being made redundant, and I can tell you that it's actually happening already. Even though some people have been put on furlough, employers are deciding to reduce their overheads by downsizing or by restructuring their businesses, and that leads to people having to leave the businesses and being dismissed.
What top tips or advice would you give to our listeners who are listening to this conversation on Sunrise right now? If they find themselves in a sticky situation at work, what do you recommend they should do?
Well, the most important thing, first of all, is to have a copy of your employment contract close to hand to keep that safe, as well as any letters that your employer may have sent you over the years changing the terms of your employment. It's important to have those ready just in case a problem arises and you need to take advice. Sometimes issues can be raised by your employer by sending you an email. I think it's very careful not to rush to reply to an email. Think long and hard about it, because an email is there for life and you may regret something that you said. When an employer is seeking to reduce their headcount or to make you redundant, they will sometimes call you to a meeting which is called a Section 111A meeting. And this is a special meeting that an employer is allowed to have with you, which is kind of like a secret or off-the-record meeting where you cannot refer to what's discussed in the meeting. And usually that's designed to allow them to discuss a way in which you could leave the employment, and they will offer you some kind of a deal which will be recorded in what's called a settlement agreement, which you then need to have approved by a lawyer such as myself, and to make sure that you're understanding exactly what you're signing up to. And that settlement agreement would typically involve you being paid your payment in lieu of notice. It might deal with you being put on garden leave, for example. It would also deal with any statutory redundancy payment that you're entitled to. And if you want to check what your statutory redundancy entitlement is, there's a government website you can go to. If you just type in redundancy pay in Google, it'll take you to it. And sometimes employers also offer an enhanced redundancy payment. So if they offer you up to £30,000, for example, that would be tax-free. But any notice monies would not be tax-free. You have to pay tax on those. But the important thing is to just take advice if you're not clear, because obviously what I'm describing here is very general but circumstance. If you're concerned about your particular case, you need to take advice, because it's really, really important when you sign a settlement agreement, because it means that you're leaving and losing your job and you're moving on to the next stage in your career.
Absolutely. I'm in conversation with Cormac Coley of the Sethi Partnership. If listeners want to get in touch with you and want to avail of your services, how do they do that?
They can just give us a call on 020 88 66 6464. That's 020 88 66 6464. Or they can visit us on our website, which is www.sethi.co.uk.
Fantastic, Cormac. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you very much, Shabnam.